Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and official TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Taurus, I hope that you're doing well. This reading today is all about what you're trying to alchemize in your life at this time. Meaning, what are you trying to transform from all of the raw bits into something beautiful and refined and something that works for you. So I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The Wild Unknown Alchemy deck for the overall energy and the Pulp Tarot for your tarot reading. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. For Taurus, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thank you, Spirit. You got the Ouroboros, the Great Serpent. The Great Serpent. This card has come out before. You can see here all of these gems and jewels and rainbow tones. Prism, Spirit just said. Sorry, I just saw a bird fly over and it caught my eye for some reason. Birds fly through all the time, but for some reason it's almost like you're looking at this from a bird's eye view. So imagine this was on the ground and you were the one flying overhead. And this Ouroboros, this snake eating itself, a very spiritual but also very ancient, mythical image representing the cycles of life. Imagine that you had come upon this as a bird kind of flying overhead, and you're now just seeing the remnants of what was left when all of the filler had been washed away. So something in your life right now is being broken down into like its constituent parts. Something is being exposed, bare bones. And I'm not talking about like I mean, it could be like scandal in somebody's life that you know, but I don't feel that. It's not about that. It's more, it's way deeper than that. It's not about gossip. We're not talking about that. It's something instrumental in your life where you are looking at it with fresh eyes or fresh perspective. Now I'm feeling the Hanged Man energy or the Hermit energy. There's introspection, this distance from something. You know, maybe up close, something like this would be really intimidating, almost frightening. But from a distance, it's like jewels and gems and colors and beauty. Spirit just said the word sacrifice. Spirit just said the word repurpose. So sometimes I come across these videos of, because I'm really interested in like crystals and gems and things like that. So my algorithm always shows me videos where people are polishing gems or mining for crystals and what have you. There's this one content creator who he's a jeweler or a metalsmith. I'm not absolutely sure, but people come to him with their old jewelry that is highly sentimental. So for example, kind of a widow may come to him with her and her husband's wedding rings, and she may ask him to repurpose the gems and the metal to create a brooch. So something that fuses these raw constituent elements to create something new, like the alchemical process. So, you know, is it a sense that we're taking all the elements that we see and repurposing something for ourselves? Take what is old and make it new. I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. There's no past, present, future. It's just a channeled message from Spirit. Just taking the temperature of what it is that you are alchemizing at this time. Okay, 6 cards on the table. The first card is the High Priestess in reverse, number 2 of the Major Arcana, Pisces energy. Anytime I refer to something as the Major Arcana, it represents a card that falls within the first 22 cards of the tarot deck, and they're divinely guided energies, meaning that Spirit has a very large hand in the energy and the movement and works with you to kind of help you through learning lessons, help you through transforming, evolving, spiritually ascending. Well, the minor arcana cards, which are the rest of the cards in a typical tarot deck, represent the actions that you and I can take in the material world, the everyday decision making, which may be really significant or may be minor, but those are what those cards represent. So when I say that the High Priestess is Major Arcana number 3, it represents the 3rd card, the evolution of the Fool's journey, the evolution of us, you know, embarking on something new where we have our faith in Spirit. By the time we get to the 3, we're looking at what our gut feeling and our intuition is telling us. We're trying to be in alignment with our intuition. This card in reverse tells me that it has been difficult for you to be in alignment with yourself. It is further confirmed by the clarifier, which is the 2 of Cups. Cups is water energy, and this card, see? Okay, the Ouroboros card just like rolled away from its spot. See, the kind of medical symbol also has to do with the snakes. The 2 of Cups can talk about divine partnership, but to me, in this sense, it talks about the connection between you and your soul, you and your higher aspect. Both these cards are in reverse. It's been really challenging for you to trust yourself. That's another way of saying it. There's something causing you to doubt your intuition about something. You have the ability to do so. Is there doubt, or are you refusing to listen to yourself? That's up to you to decide. I'm not sure. Can I get a clarifier for the High Priestess in reverse and the 2 of Cups in reverse? What are we doubting? Spirit. Number 5 of the Major Arcana. This is Taurus energy, and it represents the connection between this realm and the spiritual realm through another person, through a religion, through a teaching of spirituality, through something, a conduit, an intermediary. What are we doubting? I've said that question very clear. Here you showed up in your own reading, Taurus. It's almost like a little bit of a mic drop because it's your card. But it also represents connection to spirit. That's what you're doubting right now. That's fine. Sometimes I doubt it too. We should be asking questions. And it's not about a demand of spirit, you have to show it to me, but sometimes there are a couple times in my spiritual journey that I've been so frustrated that I've demanded. I would say less than 5 times. less. I can probably count them on 3 fingers, where I questioned spirit so much that I was like, it gave them an ultimatum: show me. And then they did, and then I shut up. So, you do you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't doubt, but it's almost like, how many signs and synchronicities does one need to see before you start to trust yourself? It can be difficult. But you showed up in your own reading, so I know for a fact that this reading is for you. So, in the next energy here, we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse. Wands is fire energy. Cups is water. The 9 of Wands talks about tenacity, throwing up some defenses, knowing that we can survive, but just being so exhausted at the thought of having to survive again. When the card is in reverse, our defenses feel a little bit faulty. The Spirit just said, what are you defending yourself from? I have a magnet on my desk. It's from one of my friends who runs a crystal business, which I am happy to promote. I get nothing for it except her gorgeous friendship. And this is the magnet. She runs a business called Live True. And if you have to buy crystals, please buy from her because she's wonderful. Anyway, this card is on my desk, and I'm just going to skip to the bottom. It says, I am love, I am empowered. Down here it says, I am guided. When I looked at it for a split second just now, I thought it said, I am misguided. Thank you, Spirit. Was there something in your recent past where you thought you needed to move in a certain direction or behave in a certain way due to somebody giving you some advice? Maybe somebody in a position of power. Doesn't have to be a religious figure. It can be somebody in a position of authority that you greatly respect, and you felt as though you were misguided. Defenses feel a little down, but it's almost as if we need to let the walls down a little bit so that we can allow flow to come towards us, abundance and manifestation. The Empress, excuse me, you know what's crazy? I kept saying that the High Priestess was number 3. It's number 2. And I know that. The Empress is number 3. See, it's crazy. I don't know that I've ever gotten that wrong. Maybe once. What's that about? Is it that I can't trust myself? I've said something over and over and over, and then I got the number wrong? Does that mean I'm a bad tarot reader? That I'm no good? I mean, no, of course not. The Empress card, number 3 of the major arcana, also Taurus energy, Taurus and Libra. You share this energy. The Empress card is divine feminine at its highest. Divine feminine energy represents the power of all 4 queens of the tarot is somebody who knows who they are, attractive, abundant, generous, loving, lush, and unbothered. So it's almost like, in order for you to get to this state where you don't constantly question, you have to be in a space of zen and calm and no anxiety, very low levels of anxiety, low levels of fear, so that we can just be cool as a cucumber and trust that things are going to work in our favor. It's very easy to say and very difficult to do, which is why a lot of people do not succeed. Manifestation is one of the hardest things to do if you are the kind of person that constantly questions yourself or others. Just like, you're always questioning everything. You're always like looking at other people for answers. It's just like, no. You know, what is it that you see? So they're kind of bringing my attention back to this again. It's almost like if you were that bird and you were flying over something as magnificent as this, and then you went back to your nest where everybody else was hanging out, and you're like, you're never gonna believe I saw this the skeleton of this serpent, and it was full of jewels and gems, and it was so beautiful. I mean, how many people would really believe you? Right? So it's calling into question the things that you have been experiencing lately. You've been experiencing some kind of what one might call magic or divine intervention, and you can't explain it. And you don't like that. You don't like that you can't explain it. But Spirit's kind of saying, relax, relax. Let down your guard. Pull up a chair. Allow the abundance to flow towards you. See, the Fool in reverse. The major arcana starts with the Fool. It's all about the Fool's journey, taking the great leap of faith, knowing that Spirit will catch us if we fall. Look at how kind of powerful, she's almost muscular, powerful and forthright, and just, there's no doubt in this person's demeanor. It's taking risks as adults. Yeah, it's climbing trees without the fear of breaking something. As adults, we know that the odds of us, you know, falling out of an unstable tree are pretty high. But as children, we have no idea because we don't have that experience and that knowledge. And we do it anyway. And either we learn something new, bravery, or we learn a lesson. It's difficult for you, because I was asking about this energy with the Empress and the Nine of Wands in reverse. It is difficult for you to believe. This is all about the lack of belief in, I don't know, your spirit guides, your spirit team, the higher power. That's your business. I'm just showing you what I see. It's almost like, what are other people going to think if I start believing this? Well, I'm going to tell you something. So there's something that happened to me recently over on another social media platform where this other content creator, I commented something on their post, because it's kind of like, you need to expect that people are going to comment if you post on social media, because you're posting to share. If you want it to be your personal diary, then you make everything private. But the minute something becomes public, it's up for critique or criticism. It's just the nature of the beast, and sometimes it really sucks. And I posted something on this person's page and they didn't like it. And I didn't mean any harm by it, but it's one of those things where it caused me to question, you know, whether I should ever do that again. And I'm like, but that's just one person. And if I allow myself to be censored by one person's bad attitude about something, then it's like, I'm not going to get anywhere in life. Because a lot of people have a bad attitude, right? They're going to question you, spiritual or not spiritual. You know, how many children get questioned by their parents for the decisions they make? Every day, every hour, every minute. There is some child out in the world standing up to their parents because they want to go outside and play. And their parents are saying, you need to put a coat on. And the kid's saying, no, I want to go out there in my pajamas and my sneakers. Right? There's some contention happening in the world at all times, but this is where we develop our sense of autonomy and agency. So when we're talking about dark nights of the soul and spiritual ascension, this is another level though. It's such an intimate experience that you have with the universe, and yet so many people can relate if they've had it, and yet they can't relate to your particular experience because it happened in your sphere of existence. And this is exactly what happened with this girl on social media, that like I related to what she was saying so much that I thought for sure that her experience was that there was commonality, but it was like she batted that away instantly and said, you don't understand my experience because you're not me. And then I was like, okay, well, yes. And then, okay, because I'm not you, I can't understand loss, sadness, happiness, and joy. I mean, these all run on a scale, unless we're like a narcissist, right? So take it as it resonates. I feel as though there's a struggle to allow things to come to you. Maybe also because you're a Taurus and like you work really hard, and it's almost like the idea of something just flowing to you is very foreign. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to get there. Number one, the Magician. I think you're the first sign that has received the Magician in this series. Right? After the Fool comes the Magician, comes the High Priestess, comes the Empress. The only thing we don't have is the Emperor, and then comes the Hierophant, right? So lots of synchronicities here. The Magician is the master manifester. You can see he has the power of all four suits. This represents somebody who uses their resources, all their resources, to make moves, to make things happen, to put things out into the world for their best and highest good. Projects, jobs, finances, love, family. When you look at let's look at some of the crazy world leaders and pseudo world leaders and whomever. Do you think these people doubted themselves? Clearly they did not. Like they might have like in the way beginning, but there has to be just blind faith in yourself to make things happen. Now, am I saying that these people are guided by spirit? Sometimes it's hard to reconcile that, isn't it? But we all have a path. And dare I say, and it hurts me to say it, but those people have a path too. And come hell or high water, they're doing their path. They're doing some path. So if they can do it, you can certainly do it. It's this understanding of what it is that you're working with and how to use it to your advantage. And that's not selfish. To want better for yourself. To want better for yourself in order to help those around you, even better. Not necessary, but even better. It is clarified by the Page of Swords, though. Page of Swords in reverse. Page of Swords in the upright talks about the little spy of the tarot. Somebody who is very curious about the world and wanting to learn more, do more. So again, you got this great energy here and you're just like, well, what is this manifestation all about? And I mean, how much am I going to really have to invest in this? Am I going to have to change my whole worldview about how I think things should come into my life? It's not just like burning the midnight oil and working myself into the ground. It could be about something else, right? Of course, I'm being facetious, but you get my drift. I would say we're trying to alchemize this right now. We're trying to, in every grouping of cards, there was doubt. There was awesomeness, and then there was a little fly in the ointment. If we look hard enough, we can find miracles, and if we look hard enough, we can find the wrench in the system. Glass half empty, glass half full. So just work on the glass half full part for yourself, because these are Empress, Magician, High Priestess, powerful energies. I want you to harness those. I'm going to read from the book. The Great Serpent. The Tail Eater, the Guardian, Quantum Realm. The Ouroboros is the all-encompassing glyph of the alchemical process. The hungry snake bends itself around you in a gesture of protection and guardianship, giving you the space and safety to participate in the work. Anything and everything can be offered into its mouth for transformation, good, bad, blasphemous, or precious. The materials of our life transmute into gems along the great serpent's spine. Along with your woes, the Ouroboros engulfs every pair of opposites. What is masculine becomes feminine. What is sky becomes earth. What is past becomes future. When this card appears, you have entered the quantum realm. Everything is a possibility. No one knows the limits of the Ouroboros. Just when you fell into thinking that your life was straightening out, the snake takes you once again into its gaping mouth for an entirely new trajectory. That's your reading, Taurus. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Taurus.